Welcome back to episode 2 of the Winner Stays On podcast. Welcome back to another episode. Got a lot of stuff to talk about today. First thing I want to ask, why the Stanley Cup hat?
So I said maybe it was the intro podcast or episode 1. Not sure exactly which one, but I'm just going to be wearing different hats throughout different episodes. Might be wearing a hat some episodes, might not. But we have a variety of hats in the studio and then also just in our just closet and collection. So this is a Stanley Cup hat. Not really sure where it came from. I think you actually got it.
It actually came from my friend who got me the hat because he is a diehard Penguins fan, and that's when they won the Stanley Cup in 2017.
Yeah, don't expect much hockey talk on this podcast unless actually.
Well, the Stanley Cup's up, so.
Yeah, there's not much I know about hockey except like Ovechkin, Crosby,
and icing.
And ice. I don't even know what that is.
It's like when you clear the puck down, you can't just clear it and then run onto it. So if you clear it and the team that cleared it doesn't get down to a certain point in the ice, they call it an icing. Kind of. It's cool. It's not a very good definition, but that's kind of the best I can do. So, thank you for telling me why you're wearing the hat.
Why the jersey? My jersey. Panthers fan, obviously.
I'm going jersey because I'm a Blazers fan.
Yeah,
I also didn't have another shirt to wear.
I chose the jersey just because I had another North Carolina shirt today, and it might have been the same exact one I wore in episode 1. So I wasn't going to wear it again.
That's fair.
Didn't really want to look like we're recording the podcast on the same night.
Gary Trent Jr. is Gary Trent Jr. jersey.
It's
obviously,
a vintage.
Everyone knows he's in Toronto now. But nothing wrong with GTJ. Blazer fan. That's why I'm wearing it. So first thing we want to talk about today, after that little
spiel,
is the MLB All Star Game is tonight. NL versus AL. Ohtani's on the mound going against Scherzer. Those are the starters. Now in the All Star Game, if you start, you're probably pitching the first, and then that's it. Maybe the
first
second. Maybe the second.
I'll be interested to see how long Ohtani is and just the game in general. Probably get 2 at-bats and pitch 2 innings maybe.
If he gets taken out, they said he can still bat as a DH.
Okay.
But All-Star Game tonight, what are you looking for? Just some fun? Honestly?
When it comes to the All-Star Game, I mean, you obviously want to see some good baseball. You want to see which guys perform the best under the big spotlight, but I mean, just a cool atmosphere is awesome. The home run derby last night, the atmosphere was amazing, and it'll be interesting to see which players get the most play time because you got guys like Tatis and Guerrero Jr. who are arguably the best players in their leagues and young stars, but then you have guys like Chris Taylor who can play multiple positions. So is he going to play 5 innings or 6 innings tonight? So it'll be interesting to see who wins MVP, given the fact that that's based really on, unless you really make your 1 at-bat, maybe 2 at-bats worth it, it's going to come down to, honestly, who just gets the most opportunities to make plays, because these are all guys that do make plays.
That's true. And, I don't know, for me, just the All-Star Game tonight is all about fun. It is interesting. I'm not sure, do they still do home game advantage in the World Series for the winner of this? They used to, for sure.
I'm assuming they still do, because the only reason that hasn't been a factor in the past years because we didn't have the All-Star Game.
It gives the All-Star Game some merit, kind of gives them something to play for. Yeah. Especially if you're Tatis, why not go ahead and try to win if the Padres, who are one of the favorites to come out of the NL.
Yeah, facts.
So that's the All-Star Game tonight. The home run derby was last night. Pete Alonso defends his crown. The polar bear, he was hitting nukes last night. Absolute nukes.
The stadium definitely favored right-handed hitters.
True.
Just because that wall in left field was much taller than right field. But I do want to say, going into it, I had an upset in the first round that I predicted, and it was Juan Soto defeating Shohei Ohtani in the first round.
Didn't you also have Joey Gallo winning?
I had Joey Gallo winning too. I had Joey Gallo winning. I missed, I think, all the other first. No, I picked Pete Alonso. But
I think it's a little the home run derby, let's just be honest, hitting a home run when you're trying to hit a home run is not easy, especially when you're I know you're getting softball tosses down the middle, but it's still not easy if you're literally trying to pull the ball, and that's the problem. That's what Ohtani was doing.
Yeah.
And I think it's a little unfair because the media was it's Shohei Ohtani.
He still put on a show. The fact that he came back in that round.
That first minute or two was
horrendous. I thought he might end with single-digit home runs. He was that bad. He had 2 in the first.
Yeah.
2 minutes or something.
So Soto and
they had the swing off.
Ohtani went to swing off.
That was
fun. Ohtani, as soon as Soto hit 3 bombs, I was like, it's over because Ohtani's just going to yank one. And he did.
Yeah, but
what are you gonna
I
do?
did see something, and I agree with it, is this format is a format where you do kind of have to rush. It used to be the format of 10 outs, so once you just hit 10 balls that aren't home runs.
I like that better.
I like that better because you can actually admire the home run. You're not rushing. Like, I feel like we saw Soto hit like a 515-foot home run, but like
he's just rushing.
He's rushing. We already have to deal with the next home run.
Yeah, even Trey Mancini. First off, shout out to him for coming back, cancer survivor. So major respect to him. But like even like, he went first. I think he was the very first guy who went during the night, and he would like hit, and then he wouldn't even look at the ball. He just hit again before it even lands.
And they say the rule is you have to let the ball land, but like
no one's gonna do that.
Like you saw the ump in the
And the
background, like
care.
stopping.
It's
But yeah,
derby.
In the end, you want to try to see people hit a bunch of home runs. But like, I miss the days of like Josh Hamilton going off, like having 9 outs and then hitting 10 in a row to get to like 28 home runs. Like, I kind of miss that format. I think we should bring that back.
Better. I agree. I think we should bring that back. I didn't even think about that last night. Also, like that extra minute, is that just for hitting a 500-footer?
And again, like that was always going to happen at Coors Field, in my opinion. So I mean, it's still going to be a show. The home run derby is always fun, and it's never going to disappoint. Just especially at Coors Field with bombs. But like, I feel like the format was kind of a little off.
I don't know. But yeah, Pete Alonso takes it again. He beat Trey in the final.
We saw a lot of upsets this whole time. Yeah, we saw a 6 seed, a 7 seed, an 8 seed all went.
And they seeded it based on home runs.
So like you could say Soto's a better hitter than
Soto.
Matt Olson, but Matt Olson just had the home runs. Yeah. I was really disappointed in Joey Gallo though, because he just he hits towering home runs, and it's kind of similar to Ohtani when they just swung the bat and just swung smoothly and didn't think about hitting a home run. They hit a home run, but when they are trying to just hit bomb after bomb, obviously you're going to get tired, and then your swing is just not crisp.
Exactly.
But I thought Olsen did good in the first round. Actually, the best first round, other than Alonso, who broke the record at 35. Salvador Perez put up 28. That was the second most.
Unfortunately, went against Alonso.
He just had the
35.
worst.
35 in the first round. All those Mets fans out there are just so happy.
It'll be interesting, though, because Pete Alonso is literally built for the home run derby. Every single swing, he was hitting it deep.
Honestly, you know what a good comparison to him is? He's kind of like the Zach LaVine of the slam dunk contest.
The Zach LaVine. I can see that.
Just like Zach LaVine, I feel like if he competes in the dunk contest, he's probably going to win.
And that's why I asked, how long is Pete Alonso going to keep competing? Is
it
going to be until he loses?
Well, you can tell how much fun he's having, so I don't think he's going to stop.
And you win $1 million for winning the home run derby.
Yeah, and you just the belt and the trophy, and he was just bobbing the head.
It was funny because that kid got hurt out there.
Yeah.
Whatever, or not whatever, but it was his knee or something. I don't know, but he was getting limping off, and you got Pete Alonso at home plate just bopping his head to the music.
Yeah, that was classic.
Shout out to all the pitchers out there. We saw some funny moments from pitchers. We saw Pete Alonso get hit in the final round.
Alonso got hit. I think Juan Soto got thrown behind.
Soto's dude just completely slipped out of his hand and was 20 feet off the plate.
Yeah, and I think what was good was the pitchers. They kind of had a good laugh about it too. They weren't super try hard and be like, "Oh my gosh, I'm so sorry," but they were.
It would be funny though if it threw off the rhythm of Alonso.
I thought it
Soto.
was, but Alonso literally took the timeout, got to the extra minute, and hit 6 bombs to walk it off.
Yeah, the announcers the whole time were "Yeah, Trey Mancini got 22, but it's a foregone conclusion. Pete Alonso's going to win." But Trey Mancini hit 22 and a minute less too, because it's a minute less in the final round. So it would have been cool to see Mancini win, but if you're MLB, I think it's kind of cool that you got a 2-time winner, because now that's going to create some storylines for next year.
Yeah, I agree. I think even you saw the interview with Tatis. She was like, "So you're going to try to knock Pete off his perch if he wins again?" And he was like, "Yeah, maybe. We'll see." "Yeah, definitely." And they were like, "Nice job. You got Tatis against Alonso next year." So I don't know. I think it's good for the game. I like it.
I think the home run derby is...
I think it's the best all-star event.
I think of any sport. I mean, yeah, NFL's tried to do their little Pro Bowl weekend, but the Pro Bowl in general is just...
It's just bad.
Kind of bad, just because everyone's worried about the Super Bowl. The year's over for everybody there.
Yeah,
you don't even let you can put it in the middle of the year, but then it's football,
and you're already extending this.
So yeah, basketball is always good. I think basketball has the best sold night. I think All Star Saturday night for basketball is the best night.
Is it? Just quick quick question. Do you think it's fair to say that the 3-point contest has surpassed the slam dunk contest as the premier event?
At this point,
now?
yeah, because there's only so many slam dunks you can do.
And I think the other
They're
thing
running
is,
out of ideas.
I think the other thing is like just the way the league has
Yeah.
become on offense. Like shooting has become the absolute like precedent.
And your best stars will go to the 3-point contest. We see Curry in there. We see Thompson. We see
Dame was
Booker.
in
We
there.
see Dame.
Joe Harris is not a star, but
Then in the dunk contest, you got Cassius Stanley.
yeah, that's the other thing.
Who was in the
It
dunk
was
contest?
Anthony
I know
Simons,
Simons won.
Cassius
Shout out
Stanley.
Blazers.
This is the point. I literally don't remember. I just remember Cassius Stanley
Because he just like has some.
Oh
buddies.
my gosh! Wow,
Now I have to look this up.
that's crazy. That's kind of the point, though. It's like the slam dunk. This is a little off topic, but the slam dunk contest is like
Obi Toppin.
okay, yeah, Obi Toppin. I remember.
I don't even remember what dunk.
I don't
he
know
did.
the fourth guy was.
There was just 3. So you
There
you
were
didn't even know that.
3.
But this was also a bad year.
True, but even like
Thrown
that
together
year when
last second.
I don't know. I think the 3-point contest has surpassed the slam dunk contest. I don't know what the NBA can do to spice up the All-Star weekend.
They need to bring back the shooting stars competition. That was
fun.
awesome.
I've seen a one-on-one competition for years, but I just don't think players are going to take that seriously.
They say that Adam Silver's trying to do a mid-season tournament.
I'd be down for that.
I mean, and they said the reward it would either just be like a cash prize or it was something that had meaning though for the actual regular season.
A max slot.
I don't know what it was, but I don't know.
Still,
it would be weird.
It's interesting though, because I think the home run derby is the most exciting and the best event at an All-Star weekend. I went to an MLS All-Star weekend and
what do they even do there?
So they do. I went to there's a celebrity game, and then there was a futures game.
That's similar to baseball.
Yeah, and then it was the All-Star game. They had a huge fan zone. They didn't really. You can't do
Yeah, they used to have
penalty.
a goalkeeping competition or long shot or something.
MLS will never have a chance.
MLS is not big
in
enough
the
to
United
do that.
States. But yeah, I think the home run derby, and then in basketball, the 3-point contest I think just gets a bigger draw and has more excitement now. Especially the past couple of years, you've had buzzer beaters
I think
second
MLB
winners.
is the best at putting on the best. Honestly, now that I think about it, I did say All-Star Saturday night is the best night, but the All-Star game is normally not that good. Except that one year where it was pretty awesome. But even this past year, they did the same format. Wasn't as good.
No,
Again, it was a weird year because it was put together at the last second.
Dame did walk it off. So.
Okay, there were actually some awesome moments now that
Dame
I think
and
about
Curry
it. But
went back and forth.
The All-Star game in the MLB is always competitive. And again, it's because it has a little bit of it has a reason you want to win because
Exactly.
you'll get home field for the World Series.
Yeah. Speaking of basketball, Team USA lose to Australia in their second exhibition game in a row. And a lot of people, even though they don't, on social media, even though they don't really know what they're talking about, let's be honest, they don't really know what they're talking about. They just see the final score, and they're like, this team sucks.
Yeah, I didn't watch any of the game.
I'm not going to act like I watched any part of the game, because I didn't.
I did watch the end of the game.
I did not watch the game.
Okay.
I'm not going to give you some crazy analysis on it, but at the same time, it's talent-wise, the U.S. men's national team for basketball is the best team in the world. And is it shocking to lose to Nigeria and Australia? Of course it is. But Australia and Nigeria do have NBA talent quality players.
I would say
on
they
their
are
roster.
on the upper echelon of international teams. Now we are getting to the point where the NBA is getting more international.
True.
So you're going to have
Luka and Slovenia.
Slovenia has never been good before, but they're going to be good now. At least
Jokic isn't playing, but Serbia. There's a bunch of good solid.
And they
national teams.
actually play together a lot. They have chemistry, and there's a difference. FIBA basketball is so much different than the NBA. The thing about the Team
rules.
USA is we have all NBA players, people that are all used to the NBA. So you got a different ball and different rules. We saw people take you can actually knock if the ball's not in the basket and it's on the cylinder, you can take it off the cylinder. You can do that in FIBA. And a lot of NBA players have been looking for fouls, but they don't call any fouls.
They're not going to call these ticky-tacky fouls in FIBA in an international competition because the NBA has become watered down to the point where you have stars trying to get calls at other Dame does it, Steph does it, Booker does it, Harden was the leader of it for a while, but it's unorthodox shoot Trae Young is notorious at it. It's just why would you not just take the jumper I don't know. It's annoying when you're on the other team. Like, we're Blazer fans. When Dame does it, it's like, yeah, we get free throws. But, in the grand scheme,
I think it's bad for the game.
It's bad for the game. And the refs don't help either. Even these, like, ejections in the NBA are so soft. They're so soft.
Like, I watched the FIBA game, the USA versus Australia game for the last 2 minutes. And they went back and forth for 2 possessions. And in the NBA, all 4 possessions would have been 4 fouls. But there were no fouls called. And some of them actually were fouls. Like, even for Australia, like Matisse Thybulle was driving to the basket, and he got absolutely hacked and no call. But that's just something they're going to have to get used to. But that is why we do scrimmages. And we have one more tonight, as we're recording this Tuesday, against Argentina, who notoriously beat us for the gold medal in 2004.
Manu.
And they still – you want to know who they still have on their team?
Well, can I guess?
Sure. It's one of the NBA players that – he doesn't even play in the NBA anymore.
Luis Scola.
He's 50. And he put up 25 in the last game they played.
That's insane.
Like –
I didn't know that. That's actually crazy.
But at this point, this is an absolute must-win game for the Team USA. You cannot go 3 losses going into the Olympics.
You can't. And the other thing is Greg Popovich is getting a little short in his press conference. I don't know if you saw it.
I think
but he kind of got upset. I don't know.
Sure. I saw the reason he should be mad. He was like, we don't always blow out these teams, but in reality, you at least always beat them. So I didn't think he needed to be that aggressive with the response to the question asked.
I did see an interesting question on social media by a basketball page that's really known for its bad takes. So take this for what it's worth. But do you think if you substituted Russell Westbrook for Dame,
saw that,
or Russell Westbrook for Bradley Beal, it would be a better team?
Now
or for Zach LaVine.
I look at that and I'm like, I see what they're trying to say. They're saying they need someone to facilitate, and that doesn't mean it has to be Russell Westbrook. But their idea is smart. Like Dame doesn't have to go out there and be a scorer, but all these players on this team are used to being scorers. Tatum's a scorer, Beal scorer, Dame scorer, LaVine scorer. Everyone I name, except like Draymond Green, is a scorer.
If you're gonna make a team of NBA stars, if you're a star in the NBA, you're ball dominant. Like I'm sorry, but the U.S.
It's not even
Olympic
having to be
team,
ball dominant.
Like I kid you not. If the U.S. Olympic team took the Suns team, I think the Suns would beat these teams.
I do think it's two things. It's one, it's too much isolation ball, and just I look at the statistics, and we have so many less assists than any other team, at least in 2 games, or compared to the teams we've played, and we have no chemistry, and that's why.
Team chem's a big one.
So that'll grow, and I do think once we get to the Olympics, we will be just fine. Sure, we might play a couple close games. Hell, we could lose a game in the pool play. But if that happens, that would actually be quite devastating. But I think one of these players, like, I really hope, like, Dame just was like, okay, I'll be the facilitator. I'll go out and average 12 assists a game. I don't have to be the scorer. Like, I think a lot of these guys, because it's their first time on the team, a lot of these guys. So they're trying to establish themselves with the team by scoring. And I just don't think that's the way you have to do it.
I agree.
It does beg the question, and it proves, like, KD, can he lead a team compared to LeBron?
If you're comparing it to LeBron, the answer is no.
Like everyone's saying,
he cannot lead a team.
LeBron
will always be a better leader than KD.
I just looked at that game and just brick after brick. Like, this ball just looks like it is not working for these guys.
Like the physical ball.
It's funny.
It also but they're NBA weird. Players. They should be able to adjust. I'm expecting a win tonight. And then they're off to Tokyo, I guess, after this game.
They might have a couple more, but I assume they're off to Tokyo.
Let's transition a little bit. Let's go to the NBA Finals. So we got Giannis and the Bucks, who last night, 2 nights ago. I had my days off there. 2 nights ago, cut the deficit to 2-1 in the series. The Suns lead 2-1. Every home team has taken and protected home court. Game 1 and Game 2 in Phoenix. Game 3 in Milwaukee. Game 4 in Milwaukee now. I'm assuming, I haven't seen the betting lines, but I'm assuming Milwaukee's the favorite.
Milwaukee by 4,
which is kind of a lot in my opinion. But who do you see winning?
I see Milwaukee winning this game.
Okay.
I just say
I think you said that last podcast.
I actually think the home team is going to end up winning every single game of the series. I said Suns in 7 after I saw Milwaukee winning. this most recent game, but just the Milwaukee role players played so much better at home. And
it's a classic case.
You had Jay Crowder. Now there were a couple anomalies. Like you're not going to see Booker make only 3 shots again, most likely. But then again, you're not going to see Jay Crowder probably hit 6 threes again. So
exactly,
it's a give and take. I do think the Bucks have gotten better every single game this series, which is scary for the Suns because I do think the Suns probably played their best game in Game 1. Actually, probably Game 2, given the fact that they had a lot of guys go off. But there was something in this game that I saw, and the reason the Bucks were able to have success is because DeAndre Ayton got into foul trouble the whole time, and with Dario Saric tearing his ACL, there's no backup. Kaminsky is getting absolutely cooked anytime he's out there. Yeah. So the Bucks obviously had a game plan to go at Ayton. So that's, I think, the factor is how well Ayton will play.
Yeah, that actually was my point. Is I think the key player for each team, and it's not like a sleep or anything. I think it's Chris Middleton for the Bucks, and I think it's DeAndre Ayton for the Suns, because Chris Paul is a veteran, literally the definition of a pro. He's going to get his no matter what. He might not have the greatest shooting night, but he's going to put his teammates in position to succeed. Booker can impact the game in other ways. He's didn't have a good game by his standards. But Ayton, if he's cooking on the inside, because the Bucks like to play that 5 out on offense and let Giannis go at the rim. And to be honest, I think it's going to work. I think it works for them because you're literally putting pressure on Ayton in the restricted area every possession when Giannis drives. And like you said, I think their game plan was to get Ayton in foul trouble. And when Ayton sits, the Suns go down, especially like you said, because of Saric. So I think the Bucks just need to continue to attack with Giannis. But again, I say Chris Middleton because Chris Middleton is the go-to, like, if you need a basket. Because Giannis, let's be honest, Giannis doesn't have any post moves.
Giannis is...
And you don't want Giannis
It's insanely impressive that he's able to do this, but his game obviously is relying on his athleticism and strength. But, I mean, props to him. I just don't know how you can hate Giannis at this point. Like, I watched his press conference, and, like, he's just the most genuine guy and just wants the team to win the whole time. Someone compared him to, they were like, you're the first player other than Michael Jordan to have, like, they were like, Michael Jordan had 4 straight 40-point games against the Suns in the 1993 finals. Do you think you can do that? And he's like, I'm not Michael Jordan.
Yeah.
So, I mean...
Humble guy.
I do think that
super good.
The Suns will shoot better and play better in Game 4. But
yeah,
I think Milwaukee will win this game.
Yeah, I think it's going to be really close. It's going to be right in that 4-point range. That's why that line is very interesting. Because the Suns... Have the Suns lost 2 in a row this whole playoffs?
No, they haven't. That was actually a key stat.
That I think about it, I don't think they have.
Yeah, they just went back and forth with the Lakers until winning 2 in a row to win the series, and then they swept, and then they haven't lost 2 in a row yet.
I have a question for you regarding the Suns, and I don't want this to be like the question I'm going to ask is not to diminish the Suns' success because I will rant about how people hate on teams for no reason. But do you think it's fair to say that the Suns' path to the finals was a little, quote-unquote, easier than maybe it should have been? Mickey Mouse.
Yeah, I mean, obviously, when you play, every team you play has one of their top 2 players injured for a majority of the series or all the series. Obviously, it's easier than what it should have been. If this was a fully healthy championship run, this would have been the most impressive championship run possibly of all time because you're beating LeBron,
then the MVP.
You're beating the MVP, then you're beating Kawhi and Paul George, and then you're beating Chris Paul and you're beating Giannis. But I don't think you just take that and say they shouldn't be here if they win it's invalid. Because
of course not.
Are a part of the game.
You never say it's invalid because that's just a part of the game. Like you said. People need to... One thing I can't stand, here we go, is people who... And let's just be honest, they just want attention on social media because I don't know why. They just want attention. So they'll do these copy and paste comments where they're like, LeBron's Mickey Mouse path to a ring, or on the 12th day of Christmas, La Mickey game. Have you seen that one?
I've seen that, yeah.
It's funny, but it's just like, y'all are just such haters. And it's like, I don't know, it just rubs me the wrong way because it's like, what were the Suns supposed to do? Just say, hey, we're not going to play the series until Kawhi is healthy? Like, sorry.
You literally look at every single team in the Final Four. Like, if I am right, they played a team with injuries. Like, the the Hawks played against the 76ers, and Embiid wasn't fully healthy for the majority of that series, given the fact that he had a torn meniscus in his knee.
The Hawks, the Bucks.
I think the Clippers are the only team that played fully healthy teams.
The Bucks got through the
Nets because they had
were
injuries.
definitely injured.
So it's just like it's not something that
the Clippers on the other hand,
you need to talk about because it just happened to be a year where a lot of stars got injured. So you can't punish the Suns
let's be
for
honest,
playing.
even the Clippers when they played the Jazz weren't fully healthy.
I think the Jazz were.
I'm pretty sure D-Mitch missed game one. Conley was hurt.
Oh, Conley was hurt. That was it. D-Mitch missed the first series. Part of
first series. But the point is
facts.
that every team in the playoffs was going to play someone with injuries. And yes, the Suns were more fortunate than other teams because they get to avoid possibly one of the best bigs in the league in AD, the MVP, Jokic. But again, the Suns beat the Nuggets and the Trailblazers didn't. The Trailblazers didn't beat the Nuggets. And
at least the Suns swept the Nuggets.
Yeah, the Suns swept the Nuggets. That's impressive. The Suns deserve to be where they are now. Yeah, I think they deserve to be where they are.
And
here's my follow-up question.
If you look at this happens every year. Every single year, a favorite team or a team that is better than the Raptors got to play against the Warriors.
They won their championship because of Durant. And
but no one talks about that because, or maybe they do, but it's
kind of
you pick and choose when you want to bring up the injury topic.
Yep,
when it depends on either your team or a team you don't like or a player you don't like. So it's just, who cares? My
follow-up question to the first one I asked was, if AD and LeBron and Lakers are fully healthy, are the Suns getting out of the first round?
No. If they play that's the sad truth because I do think that if AD and LeBron
stacked the West is. The possible NBA champion could have bowed out in the first round.
Yeah. I think the Lakers would be. But then,
the Lakers
would I say the Lakers would be in the championship? Because if the Clippers were fully healthy, the Clippers were clicking. The Clippers looked
if
good.
Everyone was fully healthy, it's Clippers Nets?
If everyone was fully healthy, I think it's the one that is most likely to make the finals is the Nets.
To be honest, if we're basing it on the injury excuse,
the Blazers could be there if it wasn't for injuries.
Yeah. Well,
maybe not.
If it wasn't for injuries, Jamal Murray would have been there.
But we would have never. If injuries never happened ever in the NBA, then Greg Oden would still be on this team.
I think you have to give the Bucks their props in the end because they were probably the only team that got their star player hurt and still won a series. The Suns have been gifted with great health. I'm sorry.
Actually, no. Okay, the Suns have had. They haven't had any catastrophic injuries.
Yeah,
they've had a bunch of knick-knack injuries.
Yeah, but if Dario Saric is your biggest injury
this
year, that's fantastic.
But they won 2 games in the Western Conference, or they played 2 games in the Western Conference Finals without Chris Paul.
That's fine.
Chris Paul had the shoulder injury in his first series.
The Clippers were.
No. I'm just saying that the Suns have endured their
yes,
part
I
of
think the Clippers.
Adversity,
did the Suns play game 1 and 2 without Chris Paul?
Yeah.
And protected home court?
No, it was 1-1.
So they lost one on their home court, and then Chris Paul came back.
I think,
no, they went up 2-0 because it was the 8 in the lob.
That's right.
So they did protect home court.
Yeah, they won't protect.
They went up 2-0. So in my opinion, I think the Bucks had the worst injury happen to them, which was Giannis. Now they did get fortunate with the diagnosis. But they were also playing against the team that was missing their star player. Okay, yeah, but I still think the most impressive win was going into Atlanta, Game 6.
Yeah, that was very impressive.
And finishing the job. I think it was the most impressive win of the postseason. Because you were without Giannis. Yes, Hawks without Trae Young.
What would be the most, if we were to say top 3 most impressive wins of the postseason, what would those be?
I think, right off the top of my head, Bucks win Game 6 in Atlanta. I think Bucks winning Game 7 in Brooklyn.
I think maybe the Nets beating the Bucks in Game 5, though, when KD was by himself. That was pretty impressive.
Sure.
That was up there. Okay, actually, I have a list for you right here. I forgot I had this on my phone. This is going to be the top 10 games of top 10 individual performances of the playoffs. And then I also have regular season if you want to hear it, too.
Let's go playoffs.
Just playoffs. All right. So do you want just me to read them out? Or do you want to just guess some players and I'll tell you if they're on the list?
Yeah, I'll guess some players.
Try to guess some players. And this is just individual performances.
Kawhi's going to be on there from round 1.
Kawhi actually is not on here.
Wow, he was averaging 40-something, but...
The top comment is stop hating on Kawhi.
Okay.
On this specific post involving it.
Should I just start?
And this is according to ESPN.
Start with one of the best
Let's
ones.
start with obvious.
Dame Game 5.
That is the number one. Dame is 55 points, 10 assists, 6 rebounds, 12 threes.
That's the record for playoff.
Yeah, but that is number one on individual best playoff games this season.
Is Chris Paul on there?
Chris Paul's not on here. There's only one player on here that has 2 games.
Wow.
And
Kevin Durant.
Yeah, Kevin Durant's is number 2. His 49, 17, 10. That's an impressive stat line.
Game 5?
3 steals. Game 5 against Milwaukee.
Okay. Giannis.
Giannis does not have one up here.
Wait, when? Okay, first off, when was this?
This was made, I think, right before the finals. So this does not take into account the finals.
Giannis' insane finals.
Yeah, I'll probably take one of his actually, maybe his finals might not be on here.
Okay, is Luka on there?
Luka's game, I think this was game 7, even though they did lose, but he had 46, 14, 7, and 5 threes.
Insane. Is D Mitch on there?
D Mitch is not on here. You haven't said the one that has two names yet.
Really?
Yeah.
It has 2 names on it. Is he in the Eastern Conference or the Western Conference?
I'll just say.
Is Jokic on there at all?
Jokic
for what he did
on here.
For what he did to the Blazers, annihilate us with like 38 and 15.
No Jokic. We have the third best is a guy that went out in the first round.
Yeah.
Then we got 2 guys that made at least a series.
Is Booker on there at all?
Booker has 2 on there.
Okay, so
Booker's number 4 against the Lakers. This was his game 7. He had 40 or game 6 to close it out. 47, 11, 3 assists and 1 block, and then his other one is against the Clippers. I'm not sure which game this is, but he had 40 points, 13 rebounds, 11 assists. So triple double, 40-point triple double. That was number 7.
So I've gotten one.
So you're missing number 3, number 6, and number 8.
3, number 6, and number 8. And a couple of these guys bowed out in the first round?
One guy bowed out in the first round.
Okay, so obviously it's no one on the Blazers because the team is Damian Lillard. Give me... Does Embiid have one?
Embiid does not have one.
Okay. Wow, there's so many good players in the league, I just realized. Because the guys I named, have dropped at least one 40-point game. I guess I need the secondary stats.
You want me to give you their stat line?
Steph on there? He didn't even make the playoffs.
Yeah, Steph did not make
They
the playoffs.
don't count the playing games. All right, never mind. You know how the ESPN loves them some Steph. I'm just kidding. Just tell them to me. I'm not going to get the guy that bowed out in the first round.
All right, number 3 is Jason Tatum.
Tatum. Okay,
he had 50 points, 7 assists, 6 rebounds, and the one win.
His 50 burger.
6th is Paul George against Phoenix. He had 41 points, 13 rebounds, 6 assists, 3 steals.
Okay.
And then Trae Young's game 1 against Milwaukee is number 8, 48 points, 11 assists, 7 rebounds.
Yeah, 48 points. I forgot. That was a beast.
But those are the...
Okay. Yeah, I can get behind that. Interesting. Okay, let's...
You wanna transition to our little segment we want to do? Our best bets for the week? Or you want to save that for the end?
We can, since you brought it up, I just do it now. I did want to talk about the Open a little bit, but...
Let's go and talk about that first.
Okay, we'll talk
just
about
know that, stay in the video if you want to see some sports.
So the
content.
Open's this week at Royal St. George's in Europe. This is the Open Championship, 3rd major of the year. 4th.
Yeah, Masters was...
Yes.
Who won the Masters this year? It's hard to remember. Because I think of DJ.
They've had 8, at least 7 in the past calendar year because of COVID.
We know John Rahm won.
It was Matsuyama who won the Masters, by the way.
Yeah, how could I forget about that?
Because Schauffele went water on 16. Yeah. So...
Do you have any idea who you think is going to
be up there? So the odd favorites, John Rahm is up there.
Yeah,
fresh off
his major win.
Jordan Spieth is on there. He's kind of been lurking in all the majors in terms of favorites before the tournament.
He's performed in
played well at the Masters. He wasn't fantastic at the U.S. Open.
Yeah.
But and then Bryson, just because he can put a crap on the ball. I was trying to figure out how I want
coming
to
off
say
the
it.
match win.
Yeah. Even Brooksy's up there.
Not surprised.
Yeah, kind of the long hitters. I mean, that's how the Open is. The Open is more link style, so it's going to be longer grass.
I do always love the Open. I used to not watch it as much, just given the fact that majority of the time it was like early July, so I was out of town a lot, so I didn't get a chance to watch it. But I will be tuned into this one this time for sure.
One thing I do want to talk about is what are your thoughts on the entire Bryson and Brooks feud?
I think it's really good for golf because at least it brings a little bit of like, because a lot of people just like drama, so it at least brings a little bit of drama into the sport. I don't really side with a specific person. I just like how both of them just go at each other a lot. So I think it's really good for the sport. I think it's fun. It's funny. But at the same time, they take it super seriously.
Yeah, I also would agree with you in terms of like how good it is for the sport. I think it just brings like publicity that is good. Bryson and Brooks are kind of like, it's kind of funny sometimes. It just looks like two brothers fighting because they're kind of similar in the way that they're both like very insecure about their like.
Oh, like their
biceps.
Body.
Well, that's kind of where it originated from.
You got Bryson saying, well, he doesn't have abs.
Exactly. That was that. And then it was Brooks talking about Bryson's slow play. Oh, no. He said, no. Yeah, so it's honestly, to me, it was the best. It was a pretty solid comeback. Bryson was like, Brooks doesn't have a six-pack. And Brooks responded on Twitter and was like, you're right, I have a four-pack. I just need two more. And it was his 4 major championship trophies, which is pretty solid because he's got Bryson beat in that department. Personally, I'm not the biggest Bryson fan. He can hit the ball really hard, and he's really, really good. I don't know. I tend to side with Brooks. I don't know why.
I actually probably I like both of them. There's no golfers out there that I really dislike, really, other than maybe like Patrick Reed. But that's because of what he's done off the course. Cheating. But I do sometimes side with Bryson because Brooks just seems kind of. Just maybe a little bit petty about it, but then Bryson's petty too, so
yeah,
I can't really say
I think
that.
at this point, like, it's fine, but I just don't want it to become too petty to the fact where it just gets annoying. It kind of gets a little annoying. They're both going to be on the Ryder Cup team together, which is funny. I saw Brooks talking about it. He's like, yeah, we're going to be teammates. But
the Olympic teams came out for golf too.
Yeah, he's like, we're going to be teammates, but it doesn't matter because, like, we're on a team, but we don't really have to talk to each other. We're not going to be paired, so it doesn't matter. We'll just do our job, which is kind of interesting.
Yeah, but it is kind of it's tough because this is the last like big tournament of the year.
I think my rooting favorite for the Open is going to be Jordan Spieth.
Yeah, I like to see Spieth do well.
I'm a big Spieth fan. I want him
Justin
to.
Thomas, I like him too.
Kind of rack up some majors. I think, to be honest, Spieth's got 1 or 2 more in his career.
Yeah, you would have thought back in 2017 when he was going on
he had
2015.
3.
And then
he had 3 by 2017. He had 3 in 2 years, 2 calendar years.
He's got a Masters. He's got everything except. PGA.
He's got one of each except the PGA. So he's gonna go for his second Open Championship this weekend. Hopefully he can get it done. My favorite, I don't really have a favorite, but I would John Rahm. I think is going to continue to play hot.
I want to see like Rory do well. He's kind of struggled recently. I would like to see him do well at his home.
He's going through a swing change. That's what it is.
I didn't even know that.
It's not like a swing change, but like the thing about golf is like any new little like wrinkle in your swing is a chain reaction. So you have to kind of you don't have to start over, but like one small move in your downswing or your backswing is just gonna like throw off the whole time, and you kind of have to like really practice it. So it's kind of like I don't know. It's like Tom Brady changing a tiny thing in his mechanics for football. It's gonna take a while for him to start throwing lasers so they're accurate again. So, but I would like to see Rory do well as well. Last thing we're gonna talk about today. Let's do So we got a little segment. We're gonna do it at the end of every episode. So Monday, Wednesday, Fridays are the episodes. Wednesday, which is today, the day the video is coming out, we are going to give you our best betting bets, best picks, best bets, best locks. Picks, best locks for the week, for the sports betting week. So on Wednesday, we're going to give you
Wednesday through Friday.
Yeah, Wednesday through Friday, kind of those picks. Then on Friday, we're going to give you the best betting bets for the weekend. That tends to be where a lot of sports happen on Saturday and Sundays on the weekend. And then Monday, that episode will be designated to review our picks for the week and see how trash we were or how good we are.
See if we made any moolah.
See if we made any money. See if we, have a sustainable winning percentage. So do you want to go first?
Yeah,
you go first. You got 2?
I do have two.
Okay.
I'll just give you one right now. I
You
wanted to do something on the finals.
Yeah, but actually both mine are on the finals.
Both of yours. One's on the finals and one is a baseball one.
Okay.
But I've got Bucks -4.
Okay.
Versus the Suns. I do think that they are going to win, and I just don't see it. Sure, it's going to be a close game, but I didn't want to go money line because it's not the best value with the odds.
Right.
So I went Bucks -4. I think they can win by at least 4. I was thinking of going over on the over/under because it is 220, and I do think the Bucks are the more inconsistent team, and they'll be looking better at home most likely to get more points. But I settled with Bucks -4 for one of my picks for best bets of the week.
Okay, so
we're a little light on the sports, given
yeah,
the fact
especially
that
this week. Yeah, right now
MLB is where a majority of the picks will probably come.
probably for the weekend you'll probably see an open pick or something like that. But right now it's basically just the finals and a couple baseball games on Friday.
Yeah.
So, and I usually
a lot of these starters you don't even know.
I usually steer clear of betting on All Star games because you really don't know who's going to actually try.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so I'm just gonna do both of mine. So you did your first one. I'm gonna do two, and then you do yours. It's like a snake. It's like a snake draft.
Snake draft.
So my two are both player props in the game 4 of the finals. So my first one is Chris Middleton over 5.5 assists, and I went with this because he did well in game 3 scoring the ball, but I think the way Giannis is scoring the ball, I think Chris Middleton's gonna look to kind of be a facilitator. Even Drew Holiday's being more aggressive shooting the ball. Chris Middleton can get his whenever he wants, but I also think he is going to be probably one of the main assist man alongside Drew Holiday. And I think, like you said, the Bucks' offense at home, I think, is going to give Milwaukee a lot of chances to score. Obviously, Suns will probably make some adjustments, but I think part of that is going to try to lock down Middleton as a scorer as well. So I could see Chris Middleton going at least 6 assists.
Especially if it's a close game, I could see him getting that just because he will have the ball in his hands more. If it's close down the stretch.
And my second player prop, and this is kind of a risky one, but I'm going to do it. It's Giannis under 34.5 points. I'm going under because, yes, Giannis is insane, but scoring 35 points every finals game so far, I think he's due for one. He's due for a little regression. I think he ends up in the high 20s or low 30s. Like it's gonna be close. But just to be like, yeah, Giannis 35 points, book it.
Risky.
And part of it is I saw a stat, he shot, I don't know the exact number, but an absurd amount of free throws the past 2 games. And yes, he doesn't convert in a lot of them, but
he converted
still
his free throws game 3 though.
Yeah, so that's like at least
if
10 to 15
if he
points.
Shoots his normal 60-65% compared to his 80% he put the other night. If he hit only half his free throws, he wouldn't have gotten the 35 last.
Yeah, I could really see Giannis kind of having a quieter game of scoring, but like rebounding.
And they'll really want to make adjustments against them.
Yeah.
So the more I think about it, it's not a terrible pick.
So yeah, Giannis under 34.5 points. What is your second one?
My second one is baseball. I went Friday night baseball. I steered away from games that are not really knowing the starters of the games yet. So I went with a game where both starters are confirmed, and it's Giants versus Cardinals, and I'm taking the Giants to win on the road at Busch Stadium. They're going to have Kevin Gausman pitching.
That's the race.
Who is a top 3 Cy Young, maybe top 5, maybe top 3 Cy Young candidate right now with like an under 2 ERA. He'll be going against Adam Wainwright, who, while he's still very solid, he's not what he once was. I think the Giants.
And this is on money line?
This is money line because the money line is actually not that bad. I don't know the exact one, but you would think the Giants would be higher. But since it's on the road and coming right off the All-Star break, they don't really tend to go with the blowout odds.
Yeah, I agree.
But I
like that one,
I'm confident in Gausman.
Yeah, Gausman has been an absurd season, not quite DeGrom level. What, the top 3 in the Cy Young right now for the major leagues? In the NL is DeGrom, Gausman, and
I think you would say maybe Zach Wheeler. From the Phillies.
Yeah.
I'm not really sure who else is up there.
And then the AL
is
Garrett Cole.
Can't say Ohtani.
Garrett Cole just pitched an absolute gem. He just pitched like 135 pitch complete game shutout against the Astros.
Pull up a little statistics. Who's up there in like ERA?
What about the White Sox guy?
Oh, right.
Not Lance Lynn.
Carlos Rodon.
Yes.
He is definitely up there. I mean, Lance Lynn is under 2 ERA.
But
could be like Corbin Burns.
Yeah. So
there's a lot of good pitchers in this league.
So whenever you have a Cy Young candidate, even if he's like top 5, top 10 on the mound, you tend to go with him. Gausman on the road, Giants on the road against the Cardinals. I like that pick.
I do want to say one thing.
Yeah. Anything else you want to go say?
Just a betting statistic I saw, or a betting two things actually. Now that I think about it, so a bettor put down a bet that DeGrom and Ohtani would both win MVP, and it was and this was at the beginning of the year. Odds were so low or
Yeah,
high.
the odds
were
the payout was very
high.
good. The odds were extremely low for it to happen.
It was like thousands and thousands of odds. So I think he's put down like 50, and he could win up to like 500K.
Yeah,
or something like that. So that
I
was
mean,
pretty
you're,
insane.
you're picking two players from the league.
Prediction.
I mean, you have some things to go off of. But
Ohtani
still.
is so Ohtani hadn't proven that.
But Ohtani has built-in value to him because he's a two-way.
Yeah,
so he's automatically going to be perceived as better.
The other bet I saw, and this hurts as a bettor. Bettor put down Italy.
Oh, I saw
to win the tournament. The key word is he didn't get specific on the tournament. He didn't know what tournament he was betting on. So he put down Italy to win the tournament. He accidentally put it down for the 2022 World Cup instead of the 2021, 2020 Euros. So he's going to have to at least wait another year.
Insane payout. The odds weren't like insane, but still, I mean, that's like thousands of dollars you just missed because of a quick slip up.
So he's going to really be rooting for Italy. Maybe
they have a chance.
Happy that they have
a chance. I think that's going to do it for this episode of the podcast. Make sure to follow us on YouTube.
Look out for other videos that aren't just specific to just
for
podcasts.
For sure.
We want to post more than just 3 times a week, but we aren't going to do a full podcast because sometimes there's just not podcast material worthy things to talk about. So we might see like tier list on this, ranking style videos. So just look out for that in the future. Is there any other type of videos that we want to tell them about right now, or is the
I think they can figure it out.
They'll figure it out.
Watch
if
it.
you subscribe, turn that bell on.
Turn the bell on. Make sure y'all subscribe to the channel. Make sure you continue to listen to the pod. It means a lot. Hopefully, we'll be back here Friday.
Yep.
Back here Friday for the 3rd episode of the pod.
Might come out Saturday.
Might come out Saturday.
Friday. Actually, no. Friday will be good.
Yeah.
I think about it.
Maybe the Bucks will be all squared with the Suns by the
Hope
time the
they
next podcast comes out. We will see you guys next time. Thanks for tuning in. Peace out.
Peace.